Okay. Let's start, please. To be Gloria. No está Gloria, ¿no? Okay. ¿Es Gloria? No. ¿No es Gloria? Ya, entonces la siguiente era.
I'm number 3. Can I continue, Professor?
Yes, please. You can start, please. Silvia.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen. Am I available to share, Professor?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I am. Okay, Professor.
Okay,
Can you see?
Yes, yes. You can start, please.
Thank you. So I have 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. The beginning, sorry. Now I am. Okay, thanks. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, dear partners. I'm going to start my presentation about my final research project, which has a title of Analysis of the English Level Test Achievement in Secondary School. My name is Silvia Aguilar Meiser, and I will start talking a little bit about my project. According to the last curriculum of Bolivia Minister of Education, teachers are delivering the new contents, and they are trying to find new and positive results in the field of education in English as a foreign language. Also, according to this curriculum, it is mandatory for us as teachers to apply an end of the year assessment for students and to provide reports about them. In this case, it is not only mandatory to apply them, but also to analyze the findings of the examinations in order to discover and give new ideas and new strategies to improve the teaching and learning class. So what are the tests? We are talking about applying tests, but what are tests? According to Ground, Lund, and Lin, the term of summative test refer to the end of the year program, and they are to measure the achievements of students. So as we can see in the pictures, there are different tests that we can apply. And we as English teacher apply the level test, which give the accomplishments of students in the four skills: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. What is a problem? The research problem and the statement of a central problem. The main problem is that we as a teacher, we don't apply frequently level test or test at the end of the year. And in that way, we have the lack of awareness of the students' performance and achievements. So it is important that we start applying tests, and we have some international tests and different level tests that I'm going to show you now. For example, we have in the English field, levels of proficiency from beginner to advanced. And we have different test takers like IELTS and TOEFL. There you can see the different scores. And those tests are useful to measure the four skills in language instruction. And that is why it is also useful for us to measure them. And as you can also see, those international tests give you a record of all the scores that you are attaining in the four skills. So the research question is, what are the achievements in the English as a foreign language area of knowledge found in the English level test in each of the four skills? So my main objective is to find out the quantitative scores of the level test. And also I have the purpose to gain a better understanding in the field and to highlight the impact of applying English tests in the schools. My hypothesis is that students are acquiring the four skills, but they still have problems with the output skills. So it is important for us, even that it is one school that I am applying this, but it can be also useful for other teachers as an example to apply level tests in schools. My research methodology and approach is the action research, because I'm working so I can apply this, and I can also do this as a systematic study, and I can combine the action and the reflection in my process of teaching in the classroom. The data collection is the multiple option test. I have evaluated all the students. They are 296 participants at the school Seferino Namuncurá, the public school in Santa Cruz, District of Education, the second. And I have used the statistical software for the analysis. So there you can see how I kept track of all the scores. And in the further analysis, the most significant are the mean, which is the average of the scores the students gain. This score is out of 45. So you can see, for example, in the reading, they have 24 out of 45. In the listening, 32 out of 45, and so on in the different skills. You can also get a better picture when getting the maximum score and the minimum score. So as you can see, the minimum score is in speaking, which is 9 out of 45. In the graphic, you can also see that the skills are being developed, but not at the same level. In the further analysis of the findings with the percentage, you can also see that listening and writing and listening are the most achieved by students, and also reading, but the speaking is left behind. So as a conclusion, I can propose different strategies to make students get the most score for the next year in this level test. So I will adjust my content with more speaking activities, with more speaking practice time, and I will make my students aware of this, of the results of the scores, so they can also be part of the objective for the next year. And finally, I will present my English level test, which I have made by myself. and for the booklet and also for the answer sheet. And this is experience. I have taken the test at the end of October, and I did my research this November in the class. It took me different times because I did the speaking section, the writing section, and the reading and listening at the same time. And finally, I will say that even though we can see results and scores, education is not only quantitative, it is also qualitative. So for me, it was a great experience applying for the first time this English level test, and I can see that the students were motivated. Thank you very much.
Oh, great job. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. I like your job a lot. And I think that it is a good example to follow. It's very important to do this in the schools. Thank you very much. Very well done.
Thank you, Professor.
Who's there? Nelly?
Gloria, please.
Gloria, okay, Gloria. You can start, Gloria.
Yes. Okay. Okay, good evening, professor and classmate. My final project is understanding grammar difficulties in English language education. My name is Gloria Peralta, and my research begins with these questions. What are the most effective teaching methods for reducing grammar difficulties and improving grammar proficiency among students in English language classes? English language teaching faces a critical challenge. Students struggle to master grammar concepts. Traditional memorizations, teaching methods fail to engage students or address learning needs. The study aims to provide evidence-based recommendations that can transform grammar education and support students' language development.
Okay,
The
Gloria.
objectives.
Sorry, could you turn on your camera, please?
My camera is not working, Professor, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Go.
Okay, my objectives, this study aims to identify the problems and evaluate the most effective teaching methods for reducing grammar difficulties. The specific objectives include comparing the effectiveness of various teaching methods, assessing their impact on students' performance, and exploring the students' perception of these methods. Next is the hypothesis. Propose that interactive student-centered teaching methods, including technology tools, group activities, and contextualized instruction. It will be more effective in improving grammar proficiency than traditional lecture-based approaches by actively engaging students, providing personalized learning, and connecting grammar to real-world contexts. Well, in this, the variables that I use, the study investigate how teaching methods such as interactive approaches, technology-enhanced instructions, conceptualized learning, supplemental resources, and class sites affect three important dependent variables: grammar proficiency, confidence, and students' engagement. By analyzing these variables, the research seeks to identify effective strategies to improve English grammar teaching. Well, in this, you can see the questionnaire that I use with 14 students in an English class. Some questions, you can see, how often do you find grammar lesson challenging? Which aspect of grammar do you find most difficult? Do you feel that the teaching methods used in your class help you understand grammar? And these questions have options that the students have to choose. Next is the research methodology. This study will employ a quantitative approach to analyze the effectiveness of different teaching methods in improving grammar proficiency and reducing grammar difficulties among students, focusing especially on 14 students in an English class. in an English language class. And this is analysis of results. You can see in this the variables that I use as frequency, aspect, activity, confidence, applications, progress, and also you can see some questions and the option. Next is the data. The data is the results. And the next is the statistic. This table provides statistical insights into various aspects of grammar learning and teaching experiences, with 14 rows representing different statistical measures or question asks. It includes columns on students' confidence in grammar skills, frequency of grammar use in class, comfort with teaching methods, and potential benefits of additional support. For example, the row, how would you rate confidence in using correct grammar in writing? It has a mean of 2.71, median of 3.0, and mode of 2, suggesting that most students rate their grammar writing on the lower side. The row, how often do you find grammar lesson challenging, has a mean of 2.71, indicating that the student generally find grammar moderately challenging. This data shed light on students' perceptions, experiences, and needs regarding grammar, learning, and teaching methods. The next is the frequency tables. Frequency tables highlight key information about students' grammar learning. Results show that verb tense are the most challenging, 35.7%. Followed by preposition and sentence structure, 28.6%. Punctuation was the least problematic. Regarding confidence levels, 28.6% feel confident, 14.3% feel very confident. Furthermore, students rate writing exercises, 42.9% as the most useful activity, followed by oral exercises, 28.6%, while 42.9% of students rely on online resources weekly for help with grammar. Regarding this class size, 28.6% prefer small classes and interactive resources, and 50% of students consider support tools necessary. Despite mixed confidence levels and ratings, the data underscore the need for diverse and targeted teaching strategies, such as integrated traditional exercises, interactive tools, and feedback to address specific difficulties, build confidence, and improve students' engagement. The research confirms the hypothesis. Yes, the findings are consistent with the hypothesis in indicating that the students face challenges in learning grammar, especially with verb tense, prepositions, and sentence structures, and that there is a need to improve teaching methods to support their learning. The hypothesis suggests that interactive and student-centered teaching methods, such as technology, enhanced tools, group activities, and contextualized grammar interactions can be effective. And the recommendation focus on improving grammar learning through targeted, multifaceted strategies. Key approaches include focusing on challenging areas such as verb tense and sentence structure, using technology-enhanced tools, encouraging group activities and peer learning, integrating real-world tasks, creating a supported classroom environment, providing additional support resources, offering regular assessment with this constructive feedback, and emphasizing writing practice. These comprehensive methods aim to improve the students' engagement, confidence, and grammatical proficiency. That's all, Professor.
Okay, thank you, Gloria. Well done. Okay, who's next? Nelly? Nelly? It's not Nelly? Cesar. Cesar?
Yes, Professor. Can I be the next one, please? Because I'm having problem with my format here with the presentation. So can I please be the next one?
Okay.
Professor, can I start?
Okay, Ninoska.
Okay, Professor, but a class may talk right now. Who was?
Hey, Professor,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't,
gonna,
I
Ahí
don't
está
know
Nelly
you.
Chilo.
Do you hear me? I don't know if my connection, I don't see.
Nelly, are you Nelly?
Yes, Professor, I hear.
Okay, entonces después Ninoska, okay?
Great.
Okay,
Nelly, you can start.
okay, perfect. Okay, good evening, Professor and classmate. Before to start my explanation about my topic, I would like to share you this code. As we continue with the education we received when we were growing up, we never advanced as a country by fighting. He said in this code, we need to have a good education because it is essential to all students have a good knowledge of different topics. No, and for this reason, I would like to present you. My topic is how can a teacher improve English teaching learning methodology in Bolivian public schools? In this part, we have the research problem. The first problem, we have problem research restrictions. In Bolivia, many students who study in public school do not want to learn a new language because they think it is stressful and the system with teacher use is monotonous and traditional. And number two, we have the problem research definitions. A large number of teachers teach traditional teaching methods, and this is one of the major factors that affect the students to have a low English level in public schools. Number three, we have problem research questions. My question in this research is what time teaching techniques and strategies could teachers use for more effective student learning skill in Bolivian public schools? And then number four, we have problem research approach. This research sought to evaluate what kind of the methods, teaching learning strategies, and authentic material teachers use in their classrooms to help the student learning. My hypothesis was this research is English Bolivian teacher can implement modern teaching techniques in public schools, such as cooperative learning, active learning, and engaging activities to integrate technology to be more attractive, no? And the variables, we have independent variables, such as cooperative learning, active learning, technology integration, and teacher feedback. And the dependent variable, we have student engagement and critical thinking. Sorry. Okay. In justification, this study provides important for educational learnings and shows the need for more effective and relevant language teaching. Also, it contributes insight to examine and identify innovative teaching the strategy, method, educational resources, and professional development opportunity for each teacher. The research methodology, I use the quantitative method to collate the data. The design was survey, was proved in the ESPSS statistical program. The technique is online surveys. And the questions, I prepared 10 questions that it was close to have an exact and a specific answer. The key result This research have been doing basic, what teachers think about how can they improve English teaching and learning methodology in Bolivian public schools. I have surveyed 30 people who works as a teacher right now. My result, we have 90% was female and 10% was men teacher. No? The other one, we have this question: how would you rate the quality of education in public school in your area? Many of the respondents says that the many school in our country we have a bad quality of this education. No? And also many teachers use the traditional method that it is affect or learnings of a student. No? The other one, we have this question that we I have measured the mediana, mode, deviation, standard, rango, and minimum, maximum. We have this question: what do you think is the biggest challenges to improving English teaching in public school? Like the answer for this question was lack of resort with 43.33%. People say that it's affect in the student learning because they don't have appropriately a tool to learn a second language. Also, limited time plays against with 30 person, and the other challenge are large class and different student level with 13.33%. No, the interpretation of this data was that most of the respondents say that the last of resort is a problem to learn a second language. No, under the median value was the 2 point, and the rest of the respondent below the median value or mean of responding are 2.13. Besides this, it debates for 2.13 on a standard deviation with 137 scale point, no? And the mode is 1 and with a rate of 3. The result that I have in my research project was: which of the following strategy do you believe was most improved English language instruction in public schools? Many of respondents said implementing a learning activity is a useful strategy. You can see in this graph, we have 17% said that we need to implement learning activity to help our students, and also they have a good knowledge of the language. And conclusion, the ESPSS analysis proved an evaluating a low quality of English teaching in Bolivian public schools. Also, teachers usually use the traditional teaching method, which don't contribute an advance for students to learn English. No, in this part we have to prove that many teachers need to change their mind and also use a modern technology, modern activity that help our students. No, and the last one conclusion that we have in this analysis is SPSS analysis, evaluating of a clearly quantitative approach to understanding how teaching can improve and implement effective English teaching and learning methodology. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Very good. Very nice work. You can show to the Minister of Education. It's very interesting and very useful. Thank you, Nelly Chilo.
Yes,
Okay,
Professor
now,
Medici.
Ms. Noska, please. You can start.
Okay, Professor, thank you so much. I have some problems to sharing my computer, my work. My classmate, she's going to share for me my
Okay.
work. Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, classmates. Good evening, dear Professor Jimena.
Yeah.
My name is Ninoska Suarez, and I'm going to explain my research. It was about the effects and difficulties of virtual education on students from Eagle schools. Effects and difficulties of virtual education on students from Eagles School. This study of the student from bilingual school in Santa Cruz. The period was from October to November of 2021. The objective of this study was to identify the impact of virtual education on students' health and the difficulties they faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Focus on English bilingual school in Santa Cruz. My methodology was the data collection throughout online questionnaire. 121 students were participants, and this involved consent and confidentiality assured. Next page. Thank you. The research problem. The virtual education during the pandemic. This became a primary alternative for continuing academic process, enable education despite physical distancing and lockdowns. The challenge, it was the lack of resources in some regions like computers, internet, the Wi-Fi, maybe the material or printing the papers or the sheets. Also, the connectivity issues, the limited equipment, and the teacher training gaps. The UNESCO data in developed countries like 18 and 85% students population cover this new method, but in low-income countries, less than 50% covered. The health and educational impact. Virtual education effects. We can talk about the stress, like it was 91.7% was identified as the most significant health impact. And the difficulty concentration during online classes, it was 71.9%. The mental health effects like stress and burnout, and the decreased students' engagement and focus on online classes. The key findings. As I mentioned before, the most prominent effect, it was like 91.7%. The concentration was 71.9% of students report difficulty stages during online session. But also we can talk about the student satisfactions. These studies confirm the research hypothesis, providing satisfaction about the results. Most institutions had limited experience with digital platform pre-pandemic, and also the switch to full online education was challenged, but it was necessary. The global context. Many countries face challenge in implement digital education models. The shift was more easily implemented in regions with existing digital infrastructure. In conclusion, virtual learning became essential during the pandemic, but came with significant challenge. The health and academic well-being of students were significantly impacted. Also, we can consider essential the online classes essential for higher education, like as we are having virtual education. An institution must plan better for future emergencies, ensuring resources, training, and infrastructure are in place. Maite?
That's it.
No. Maite, ¿puedes bajar, por favor? ¿Se acabó? ¿Está Maite?
Se fue, parece.
Yeah.
Ah,
Shh. Ah, ahí está. ¿Se acabó? ¿Está Maite? ¿Puedes bajar, por favor? ¿Se acabó? ¿Está Maite?
Yeah.
Ah, ya está. ¿Se acabó? ¿Está Maite? ¿Puedes bajar, por favor? ¿Se acabó? ¿Está Maite? ¿Puedes bajar, por favor? ¿Se acabó?
Okay.
No, creo que tenía una partecita más. Awesome. Recommendations. Well, for institutions, the recommendations are invest in digital infrastructure and training for both students and teachers, and also address student well-being, focusing on mental health support. And for policymakers, ensure equal access to digital education resources for all students, especially in low-income areas. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much, classmates.
Okay, thank you. Well done. Well done, Inoska. Great job. Very interesting. Okay. That's it. Okay, so we are going to stop and we are going to come back in 10 minutes, please. 10 minutos.
Okay, Professor.
Okay, Professor.
Y sería César,
Yes.
sería primero Ni, sería, ¿quién es Ni? Ya, sería la sexta y después,
After Ninoska is Amalia and then me,
Professor Lee,
Maite Chavez.
yes.
Ninoska, Amalia and Maite Chavez.
ok. Ok, entonces se preparan para luego Maite, ¿no?
Y después de Maite soy yo, dice
Sí.
Andrea Aparicio.
And after
Después
Andrea,
Andrea,
Amalia.
Flavia Chávez, es la última, ¿no? Fabiola había sido, perdón, ¿sí?
Ah.
Y Diana Flores. Okay, entonces, let's come back in 10 minutes, okay. Como no me permite conectarme antes, entonces 10 minutos por favor le daremos ya para que nos conectemos de nuevo. ¿Ya?
Gracias, Lisa. Nos vemos en 10 minutos.
10 minutos.